Good morning, Ruth Anderson here. I'm the founder of Enlightened World, and I'm so excited to have Mira Rubin here with me today. Now, Mira and I were talking just the other day about this awesome new program that she's coming up with. And I said, Mira, we really need to share this with other folks because I know you are looking for people to join in. And so that's why we're here. Just wanted to share with you what Mira's up to. But first of all, Mira, why don't you come on and say hello?
Hi, Ruth. Thank you so much for doing this. I'm very excited to reach out to some folks that are interested in opening up new possibilities. And you're the queen of possibility here. So I'm very grateful to be here in this venue with you.
So, Mira, share with us what core connection is, because I know that this program is it's sort of like branching off on core connection and giving people opportunities to experience that along with some amazing work with you. But can you first start with telling us about core connection?
Sure. Core Connection actually began about 30 years ago, a little bit more than 30 years ago. And what it is an amalgam of different modalities that I've been trained in. It incorporates NLP and chakra work and dream time sort of visualization and specialized kinesiology or muscle testing. And I am awed by the results that people get through this core connection work. And I'm able to say that unreservedly because rather than being an expression of my brilliance as a practitioner, it's really all driven by the person that I'm working with. So it's really a tribute, its effectiveness is a tribute to the brilliance of the other than conscious mind that we are able to tap into through this process and actually rework a foundational inner terrain so that people experience transformational shifts that absolutely blow my mind over and over and over.
So, Mira, I am fascinated. Can you give me an example? Like
Sure.
one of the folks that you worked with, and what did they experience?
Okay. Here's an example. Person that I just worked with very recently said that they were having issues around giving and receiving love. Because my question was, what can we work on that would be life changing for you? Because why work on anything else, right? Let's work on the big stuff. So we did the session, and it turned out that for that person, it really had to do with issues around trust of self and trust of others, and feeling safe in the world. At the end of the session, they felt awesome. And later, a day or two later, they sent me a note, a thank you note, and said that for years and years, every day of their life, they had thought of their death. And that since that session, that thought had not crossed their mind once, other than to recognize that it was different. That's hugely profound. And in addition, they felt a greater experience of openness, a greater experience of connection, a greater ability to be self-expressed out of one session, which is remarkable. Another example is working with a client who had issues around self-esteem and worthiness. And the way it showed up in life was being very apologetic in business, in personal relations, insecure, not being able to make decisions well. And one session has been percolating out and propagating out in their lives for the past couple months, and they are now able to be a clear presence in business, making very decisive and comfortably decisive action, meaning it's not forced, it's not fighting against an inner insecurity. It's just very natural and elegant and clean to say, this is what I want, this is how I'd like to proceed with this. Very matter of fact, with no resistance. And it's remarkable to see that. And the interesting thing is that these changes percolate throughout people's lives, because they're a fundamental thing um, at the basis of their experience of living. And it's remarkable.
Mira was just going to share with us what this process of core connection is like. And what I want y'all to understand is that core connection is Mira's thing. So Mira, first of all, can you tell us, how did this come to you? And then maybe share with us how it works, how you do it.
Okay, great. Thank you. So a bit over 30 years ago, I studied hypnosis, NLP, and a modality called One Brain, which used muscle testing to connect to the other than conscious awareness of clients that I was working with. And I thought, wow, this is really, really powerful stuff. And incorporating the muscle testing in with the other modalities, I thought was a brilliant way to be able to access the intelligence of the person that I was working with, rather than me running an agenda about how best to serve them. And so over the past number of years, this modality has evolved. It's almost evolved in a life of its own. I've been gifted with information around it and refinements to it, and it has become something quite elegant and profoundly impactful. And so what it looks like first is to I spend time with the client to discern what shift would be life impacting, what shift would be life altering. And we're talking about fundamental terrain and the vantage point from which we experience the world. Oftentimes, people suffer from trauma, from self-limiting beliefs. This goes way beyond belief because it works on a mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic level. So we first find something that I can test, because I guarantee, money guarantee, a measurable and meaningful result with each session. So in the beginning of the session, what we do is we identify what that would be. And the way that I can test that is when there's an emotional response. Perhaps someone experienced a deep trauma, and when they think about it, they get incredibly anxious, or they cry, or fearful, or whatever. I need to be able to see that there's an emotional response, or that there's an experience that the person is having, that we can then, when we're done, test for that again. And when it's gone, then we know we were effective. Okay, so that's what I mean by measurable and meaningful, that we agree that, yes, this would be life-changing. If that changed, life would be a different experience for me. Then I muscle test to find coordinates. And these are kind of interdimensional coordinates of time and space and chakras and energy. And then I say, okay, so for instance, root chakra, what's the first thing that comes to mind? And it's literally free association. I have had somebody who said marshmallows. And so we'll take the marshmallow example. With the marshmallows, then we just engage with what is happening as you, the client, notice the marshmallows. What's happening about the marshmallows? What's changing with them? What's different? And that's all the session is, really, is just bringing forth these images or these sometimes physical sensations and interacting with them through a judgment-free observation. And it's often nonsensical, and it rarely follows any kind of logic. But as we engage with these representations, they transmute. And as they transmute, whatever the underlying dynamic is transmutes, as bizarre as it seems. No. And my idea about it is that because of this non-intellectual approach, we're able to interact with what's there without judgment. And when we are able to be present to what's there, whether it's a symbol or a sensation, without judgment, it allows itself to transmute. And the agreement, the unspoken agreement in this work, is that the symbols and the representations that the client brings forth are the keys to unlocking whatever that inner dynamic is, to create freedom and to connect people more deeply with their core selves.
You had mentioned with some of your clients a feeling of connectedness for them. So I need to ask you, are they connecting to themselves? They're connecting to spirit? What is the feeling of connectedness?
In the work, when someone is bringing forth whatever these symbols are, it doesn't really matter, Ruth, whether it's their, I consider it to be their other than conscious intelligence or their spirit, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't even matter what it is, because we're connecting to this other than conscious knowing, whether it's guided by spirit or it's their soul or it's their unconscious. I don't really know. And the beauty of this is that I don't have to know for it to be effective. You know, the remarkable thing is that we all have our own inner constructs, and most often they're operating without our awareness, and certainly without our conscious decision. It's like an operative frequency almost that we perpetuate even without knowing. And even if we've done intense work with beliefs, even if we've done all kinds of work to clear trauma, there's often sort of an energetic signature that's underlying that this work seems to be able to affect. I've done work with people that have no concept or orientation to energy work, and it's equally effective. I've worked with people that have had extreme trauma, PTSD sorts of things too, people that have phobias, people that want to go to the next level of peak performance. We all have a spectrum of possibility, and I believe that actually it goes to being unbounded. Wherever we are in our lives, there's greater connection to ourselves that's available.
The thing about work like this is I could meet with you for an hour, hour and a half, and have literally life-changing results. Whereas if you go to the traditional talk therapy, it could be years and you never get to that core of what you're able to shift. And I'm not saying that the other is invalid. It's just so different what you're able to quickly take care of in a session like this.
Okay, so realize that it's not a once and done. Nothing is a once and done. So let's say I address an existing trauma and now I'm no longer traumatized by that anymore. So now my whole baseline of being has shifted. And now there's something else to address. Like there's evolution is a lifelong process. There's always something new that comes up, and it's not about creating smooth sailing for your whole life. It's about getting to the next place of evolution and growth and development. And so that's an important thing, because sometimes people will do a session and what comes up is what looks like breakdown, because they're getting to see where things didn't work. And as you peel away the most urgent things, then the real deep underlying stuff starts emerging.
Can you tell us about this program that you're putting together?
Sure. For the coaching program incorporates 2 deep dive sessions a month, which can be the core connection work. It also includes unlimited 15-minute laser coaching sessions. And it's remarkable what can be achieved in 15 minutes. We will have one themed group Zoom call per month, and we'll also have 2 Zoom accountability calls per month, because the intention of this program is to work with people that really want to make life-altering change in their world. As we play a bigger game, we need to evolve to rise into the role that we're creating. As you well know, Ruth, right?
So true. It is so true.
Right. So
Yep.
it looks like it may be a pragmatic business type path, And really what it is an evolutionary path. I want to be able to have a conversation to see if we're a good fit for one another. And I want to know that I can make a life altering difference for the people that are joining. And therefore, I want to be able to have a conversation with them about that. And if I don't feel that I can make that profound difference for them, I will not accept them as a client. And if I don't feel that they are, so they can go to 30minuteswithmira.com and schedule a call. If you're really interested, if this calls to your heart, if you're ready to do something big in the world and grow into that vision of who you can be, then this program might just be for you.
So, Mira, I have heard that your work is radical, profound, and life altering. And what I know of you is that you walk in that high vibrational frequency, that you have very high expectations for you in the world, and you do give to the world with your work in sustainability. And I highly recommend you as someone of integrity, that someone would want to go to only if they're really in a place of making life altering change for themselves. We're talking about 4 months of intense work on themselves, but with support.
Joyful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
But this work, and I use the word work on purpose, it's not for the faint of heart, because this is people coming into their own and really stepping up to what they see as their role in life, right? Getting to know their own soul's calling. And you are masterful at helping people figure that out. So I'm so excited for anybody who actually wants to connect with you to see if this is a good fit for them, because I have no doubt that it can absolutely change their lives.
Thank you, Ruth. I am tremendously excited because, like I said, I won't make promises I can't keep. And the reason I only want to work with 10 people is because I really want to be fully engaged with those people. And I want to see us all make a profound impact in the world. And another reason, a reason that we're having the group Zoom calls too, is because I want people to be part of a community, because this work is transformational. To be able to have people that you can engage with on a playing field that is so elevated is a really important thing. And so we'll be a gift to each other, and we will enliven and inspire each other, and we will support each other in creating massive impact in the world.
Well, and that community, Mira, is so important.
Yes.
So many of us are out there doing the work of walking in their soul's calling and not feeling like they've got other people that they can really connect with and share even what they're getting from their spiritual connection, or what they're experiencing in their work. So here you would be with 10 other people who are walking in their soul's calling as well. What
Yeah.
a gift. I could really see the connections that y'all are making with each other continuing even after the 4 months is over.
Exactly. Well, people in the program will have the opportunity to continue after the initial 4 months. I'm asking for at least 4 months so that we can really make some kind of profound difference and impact in the world. Also, to be with people that are thinking outside the box. So this is one of my superpowers, is to be able to envision possibility beyond where people tend to originally go. So many of us are living within the constraints of our beliefs rather than stepping into the world of what's possible. And that's really what this is about, is stepping into possibility and creating that in our lives, carrying it forward to be unstoppable.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I'm excited for all of you. Really, this great opportunities. So Mira, can you just remind us, if folks want to learn more about you, where can they go?
My website is yourcoreconnection.com. So YOURCORE connection.com.
Great. And if they want to sign up for the 30-minute conversation with you, remind us.
That would be 30 minutes with Mira, MIRA.com.
Mira, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I so support the work that you're doing in the world and can't wait to see who actually signs up to go on this journey with you. And really, one thing I was thinking of, you said it was 4 months and you said $2,400?
It's $675 a month, which is 27, but there is the option to pay the 4 months in advance for $2,500, so a $200 savings.
Okay. All right. Well, some people spend that much on lattes at
Yeah.
Starbucks in a month. So, I mean, really think about what you can be doing for yourself that's actually healthier for you and really life altering. I mean, the possibility is just endless of where they might go with this work. So thank you so much, Mira. Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too.